You ever get that feeling like you're not really alone? That's exactly what happened to me. And let me tell you, some things should never be ignored. The first sign was small, a creak in the hallway when I was home alone. I told myself it was the house settling, but deep down I knew better. I live alone. A small, quiet house at the end of a cul-de-sac. Nothing fancy, nothing dangerous. At least, that's what I thought, until the night everything changed. It was just after midnight. I was lying in bed, scrolling mindlessly on my phone, when I heard it. Creak, soft, deliberate, coming from the hallway. I froze my breath hitched. I turned off my phone's screen, letting my eyes adjust to the dark. Silence, nothing, just my imagination. Then, creak, creak, creak. Slow footsteps, inside my house. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and stepped out of bed. My heart was hammering so hard I could feel it in my fingertips. The hallway stretched out before me, black as a void. My light barely cut through the shadows. "Hello?" My voice came out weaker than I expected. Nothing. Then I saw it. The attic door, hanging open. I swallowed hard. I never go up there. Never. But tonight, it was open, yawning like a mouth in the ceiling. That's when I noticed something worse. The footprints. Dusty, blackened, bare footprints leading from the attic into my bedroom. My stomach twisted, my skin prickled with cold sweat. I felt watched. Then, a hot breath touched the back of my neck. I spun around, flashlight shaking. Nothing. I grabbed my phone, fingers fumbling, heart pounding, and opened the camera. I flipped it to selfie mode, aimed it over my shoulder, and I saw it. A figure, tall, twisted, just standing there, watching me. I turned. The hallway was empty. My phone buzzed violently in my hand, a text from an unknown number. "I see you." My stomach dropped. Then, bang! My bedroom door slammed shut. The lights flickered, then cut out completely. The silence was unbearable. Then, the whisper came, so close it should have been inside my own head. "You left the door open." I ran, down the hall, toward the front door, toward escape. Then, my phone's flashlight died. I crashed into the wall in the dark, breath ragged, heart in my throat. I reached for the doorknob, but it wouldn't turn. Then, from behind me, a slow, steady creak, a closet door opening. I couldn't see it, but I could hear it, the sound of something stepping out. A shape moved in the darkness, a rasping breath, so close I felt it in my ear. And then, my phone screen lit up, a notification, a new picture, from my own camera. I opened it. It was me, standing right there, and behind me was a figure, its mouth stretched too wide, its eyes just empty black holes. And then the whisper, "You let me in." The lights snapped back on. The hallway was empty, the attic door was closed, the footprints were gone. But on my phone, the photo was still there, proof that I wasn't alone, that I never had been. I never used to be afraid of the dark, but that was before I noticed the shadows, before I realized they weren't just the absence of light, but something else, something alive. It started on an ordinary night walking home from work. The streetlights flickered, one by one they died, plunging the sidewalks into patches of darkness. At first I told myself it was nothing, just faulty wiring maybe, but then I saw them. A shadow longer than it should have been detached itself from the base of a lamppost. It didn't move with the wind. It didn't belong to anyone. It was just there, watching me. I told myself to keep walking. Don't look, don't acknowledge it. But then it moved. It didn't glide or stretch like normal shadows. It crawled. My stomach clenched. I picked up my pace. I told myself I was imagining things, but deep down I knew I wasn't alone. By the time I reached my apartment, I was breathless. I locked the door, turned on every light. Shadows can't exist in the light, right? That's what I thought, but I was wrong. The first bulb flickered, a soft buzz filled the room, then pop! Darkness swallowed half my living room. And then I saw it, a shape pulling itself free from the corner. No face, no features, just darkness given form. And then it moved. I ran. I locked myself in my bedroom, clutching my phone like it could protect me. I turned on the flashlight, aiming it at the door. But the shadows, they didn't disappear. They adapted. Under the door, something slithered, not a hand, not an arm, something else. I held my breath as the darkness stretched higher and higher, filling my walls like ink spilled in water. And then, a voice, not spoken, not heard, felt. "We see you." I don't remember screaming. I don't remember what happened next. All I know is that when I woke up, the lights were back on. Everything looked normal. But I knew the truth. They don't just live in the dark. They become it. And now, they know I see them. So if you're listening to this, be careful. Because once you notice them, they notice you. Beat. Silence. Then, just before the end, did you just see something move behind you? When my best friend's little brother died, we thought he was gone forever. We were wrong. Daniel died 2 years ago. A car accident. Quick, brutal, final. He was only 7 years old. My best friend, Lacey, never got over it. Neither did her mom. She stopped eating, stopped leaving the house. But the worst part, she never stopped setting a place for him at the table. One night, Lacey called me. Her voice was shaking. "Mom's acting weird. She's talking to Daniel." I drove over, expecting the usual, grief, maybe even a breakdown, but I found something much worse. The house smelled wrong. Stale air, rotting flowers. In the dining room, the table was set for 3. A candle flickered. The plates were full. And Lacey's mom? She was smiling. She sat at the head of the table, eyes locked on the empty chair across from her. "Say hello," she whispered. "Daniel doesn't like being ignored." My stomach turned. Goosebumps crawled up my arms. Lacey gripped my wrist. Her fingers were ice cold. "Mom, Daniel is dead." The room fell silent. The candle flickered violently, almost went out. Then 3 knocks at the front door. Slow, deliberate. Lacey's mom beamed. "That's him now." I felt sick. The door creaked open on its own, but no one was there. Then I saw them. Tiny, wet footprints appearing, one by one, on the wooden floor, coming inside. The air turned frigid. The candle went out. Then, from Daniel's old bedroom, a whisper. "Why did you forget about me?" Lacey grabbed my hand. Her fingers dug into my skin. "We need to go," she whispered, but her mom just stared at the empty chair, smiling. "Eat, sweetheart," she said softly. "Daniel doesn't like to eat alone." Then, bang, Daniel's bedroom door slammed shut. Lacey screamed. I grabbed her arm, pulled her toward the door, but it wouldn't open. The lights flickered, then died. The house was silent. Then we heard it. Little footsteps, running down the hall, straight toward us. Lacey sobbed. The doorknob rattled under my grip, but it wouldn't move. A shadow appeared at the end of the hallway. Small, wrong. It stood there, watching. Then it crawled. Fast. Too fast. Straight for us. I screamed. Then... The last time I saw my grandmother, she was in a coffin. So why was she knocking on my window at midnight? Grandma died last week. Peacefully, in her sleep. We buried her. We mourned her. And then, she came back. It started with a smell. Not the kind you'd expect. Not decay, not rot. Flowers, sweet, overpowering, sickly, like roses left to die in stagnant water. Then came the knocks. Tap, tap, tap. At my bedroom window. I ignored it. It was the wind. It had to be. Then the voice. Sweetheart, let me in. My blood froze. I turned to the window, and there she was. Sunken eyes, hollow cheeks, pale skin stretched too tight over sharp bones. But it was her. Grandma. She lifted a hand, pressed her fingers to the glass. Her nails were black, cracked, splitting down the middle. It's cold outside, sweetheart, she whispered. Let me in. I couldn't move. Her head tilted, her lips stretched into something that wasn't a smile. I didn't want to leave you, so I didn't. The glass splintered. I screamed. Then the window shattered. The smell of rotten flowers poured in. The lights flickered, and suddenly she was inside.